Welcome back. I'm Rosie, Susan Anime O'Hagan, and today we're going to talk about the live action
people who do
2023 The Little Mermaid,
because unfortunately the cosplay order for
The
the
Little Mermaid isn't coming.
Today's
today
I got to
is
see
ready
MGX,
for
which
live
was
action Little Mermaid.
fantastic. It was today. I'm so excited.
Okay,
So
Halle
I found inspiration
Bailey
which
as Ariel was amazing. She nailed the
maybe we'll see.
part of your world.
And
She was
so I
amazing
went with
as
this
Ariel.
pretty
She
blue
did a great
dress.
job. Nothing too
Not
bad to
Disney
say. I
necklace.
loved her.
Yes, it's
no
Beauty
better
and the Beast, 'cause I
choice.
don't have
Eric, I
Ariel
believe
yet.
they said they
I would
adopted
love to
him
get
away, and I
Ariel
feel he got more
from
parts
that
in this
origami owl.
movie than the OG,
Because
and I would like to
origami.
see
I have
what happened to him
my
before they got
Stitch
him.
band, but
what
I also
is
got
going
my
on
cute
with him?
little
Why is he
blue bow.
This Melissa McCartney as
dark blue
Ursula
dress, and
was
I have
fantastic.
my
They couldn't
little,
have picked a better choice. She
blazer
played
that if I
her
want to wear it, I
so
can,
good.
or if I want to put it
You
over
tell
me,
she was
I
in
can.
it. You could
We'll
tell
see.
she was really trying her
But
best.
I looked up
Jessica
found
Alexandria
what people wear,
as
'cause
Vanessa,
you
not
can't
much to
wear
say,
that,
but
and my
funny how
cosplay
Ursula
that I
can't be
ordered
nice for
isn't
too
coming
long, no
till
matter what.
June or July.
Because she played the
But you'll get
human
to see that
version
though.
of Ursula.
Ow.
Okay.
Yay! I'm so
Jafar as King Tread. He was good as the king.
hoping
He
it's
does
something
have a
else.
mean
I
streak in the movie.
So excited.
He played that well.
And I curled my hair,
Nauman
like all of it,
as Queen
sprayed it,
Celine.
curled it,
I loved how
used
that
my,
they had her be the queen, how she cared about her son.
wireless.
She was a
curler.
black
I
queen,
should-
which was
that's what's
awesome.
cool. And Alexa, what is today's date?
Malik as Sir Gibson. He
Alexa,
was okay, but
what
I
is
felt
today's
him
date?
and the queen had feelings for each other.
So there you go.
David Diggs as the voice of Sebastian. I loved Under the Sea. It was amazing. It reminded me when my friends and I played mermaids in the pool, and that's how we would imagine it. But even cooler, he was not as creepy as I thought he would be. I thought originally him and Flounder were just too creepy for their own good. Jacob Tremblay as the voice of Flounder. He wasn't as creepy as I thought. He was cute, and I love his friendship with Ariel. I have no idea how to say your name. Awkawafi as the voice of Scuttle. She was funny, still odd how she couldn't sing at one point and then could the next. I love The Little Mermaid. Hans Christian Andersen had a quote in the beginning of the movie, which was awesome because they finally recognized where the movie came from. I was also glad they finally said Ursula was Ariel's aunt and Triton's younger sister. Thank heavens, because I've been wondering that for years and thinking they're related. And they never acknowledged it in the original because I rewatched everything from the movie to trying to watch some of the TV shows, to the second movie, to the third movie, to some of the books. I literally was just finding what I could. Live action, The Little Mermaid is a 2023 American musical fantasy film directed by Robert, from a screenplay written by David, co-producer Walt Disney Pictures.
Welcome to
Lumiere
the Lake
Productions and Mark is a
XOCHIM
live action adaptation of Disney's
ILCO in Mexico,
1989
the last home
animated
of
film of the
Axolotl.
same name. Itself loosely based on the
See if you can spot
1837
and
fairy
snap
tale of the
pictures
same title
of these
by
rare
Hans
creatures.
Christian Andersen. The film stars
Click to
Halle
take photos.
Bailey in the titular role alongside Jonah,
Hola,
David,
mi amo
I'm calling it
Anna.
H. Jacob,
Did you know
Norman
axolotls
Art,
can't read?
Javier, Melissa McCartney. I know her name because she's been on a lot of things, and I know
Yes, axolotls.
Halle
No.
Bailey from Grownish,
I
and
had to
she
take photos
did a
of
lot
it.
with her sister
Beautiful
Chloe, so I
scenery.
know their names.
I wanted to take photos
The Little
of
Mermaid follows the
Hola.
mermaid princess Ariel, who
Hola
is fascinated with the human world and makes a deal
you know
with the
axolotls can't
treacherous
read,
sea
Elena?
witch Ursula to trade her voice to
Axolotls don't have
human
eyelids,
legs
so they
in order to
always
impress
sleep with their
Prince
eyes
Eric, who is saved
open.
from
They're
the
so
shipwreck
cute though.
before the time runs out. Plans for
Such
a
an
remake
amazing
of
lake.
1989's The Little Mermaid were confirmed in May 2016.
Amphibians,
This is
yes,
how long it has
axolotls,
taken them to literally
Okay.
find and go through.
Why is Monday so far from Friday?
In December
Friday is so
2017,
close to
Disney
Monday.
announced Marshall was being courted
Totally
to
get
direct
that
the
one.
film. Bailey,
So many interesting creatures
Trimble,
down here.
and
I
the
have
rest
no
of
idea
the
what that's
cast
supposed
signed
to
on
be.
between July
I'm trying to think because I have a whole book of
to
oceanology
November
and
2019.
zoology,
Production
and that
was
doesn't
expected
look
to
familiar.
begin in London between late
Womp
March and
womp.
early April 2020, but was delayed by the
Every feel
COVID-19
like you're
pandemic.
going
Didn't
in
everything
circles?
just get like delayed from that? Dang. Because, yeah, no one liked that.
Watercolor,
No one in history.
wonder
No one.
kind.
And welcome. I am your host, Anime. And today we are going to be talking about fun facts from the Little Mermaid. I want to say the classic.
I am more than
one.
confused.
Okay, so let's do some fun facts for you kiddos. It's based on a classic fairy tale.
What have you?
The Little Mermaid is a 28th movie and a 1989
Did you know
American anime
axolotls
musical
can't breathe
fantasy
in
movie
and out of water?
produced by Walt Disney.
Oh, did you know
Animation.
axolotls
It is
can
based on a
breathe
fairy
in and
tale
out of water?
of the same name.
Jeez, my brain is like
The message
50 miles
says,
an hour.
"Didn't you all
Hola.
learn from the land before time?" The movie
This
was
one
first
says
released
hola too, which means hello
into
in Spanish.
movie theaters on November 14th, 1989.
So
by
many
Walt Disney
interesting
Pictures
creatures down here.
and Bruin Visit
It's like a
Pictures.
salamander.
It was re-released on November 17th, 1997. Disney said that there would be a
Belter
3D
Baller?
release on September 13th, 2023. This was
So this was
canceled
a game
on
they had on
January
Google.
14th, 2013 because the other
Amphibians
Disney
Amore.
3D release were not as successful as Disney had hoped they would be.
Go!
We know
but it's not there
as
anymore,
a
so I
classic
had to take
now,
photos.
but
Our
exceptions for the
amphibian
Little
friends
Mermaid were
had
actually
a
pretty low
short
before
story
its
written about them.
release date.
How famous?
Expectations. In fact, Disney had planned on an adaptation of the Little Mermaid since the 1930s. Ursula
As the
Triton
coconut
in
is
the
not a
musical
nut,
version
the
of the
walking
Little
fish is
Mermaid,
not a fish.
Ursula sings about Triton, her brother. Yes, you read that right.
Cute little
the
fish.
song "I Want the
Reminds me
Good
like a different version
Times
of
Back"
goldfish. Ooh, what
talks
do you
about
say?
the ocean's kingdom
Do not step
being
on
divided
flowers.
between
Swimming
Triton and
through is
Ursula.
okay.
But Ursula, abusing her power, was cursed and lost her control. This fun fact helps establish why Ursula is
I'm
so
stuck on these
resentful and
weird
angry at
things
Triton.
again.
Ursula is so resentful and angry at Triton, though this plot point was eliminated from the film version. Ursula does imply during a monologue, however, that she lived in Atlantica at one point. Carlton and Cinderella.
And now it's not letting me go back. I want to give them
Claritin,
some fun axolotls.
Eric's Maid, and Princess Cinderella
What? No.
have more in
What?
common than the fact that they are both in Disney movies. They are wearing the same outfit. The difference is that Charlotte's hairpiece matches her dress and isn't white like Cinderella's. The Maid today
because I'm holding you right.
publishes
What of you?
it. Tabloids
What?
after
No,
tabloids celebrate
And that's the tea.
outfit, asking who wore it best. Disney did the same in a way, leaving me
And sorry,
to question
that is
who
someone
you
running
think
upstairs.
wore it best. Plasma
No.
and Jetson.
Working on
Sam.
ox.
Ursula's sidekicks, Plasma and
He must
Jetson,
be
are her
axolotl
prized
singer.
possessions. Unlike other Disney henchmen, Ursula is generally concerned with their fate. She makes
So many
named
interesting
them
creatures down
babies
here. I think that's
and
a sea turtle.
Poopsai. In fact, when they are killed, her anger
Axolotls
and
live up to
mourning
15 years
turns
and
fatal
never
as she
lose their
attempts to kill
baby
Arrow in
larva
hopes of avenging their
up
death. These eels are more than her
trees.
minions; they are her
They're so
family.
cute.
Sebastian.
Axolotl?
Sebastian's Jamaican accent underscores the carefree spirit of the sea,
Let's
despite
have
the
some-
animator's original
let's say manga.
intentions. What if Sebastian had a British accent?
So many
Animators
interesting
intended
creatures
this
down here.
crustacean
Okay, I
to
swear that's a
resemble
version of a frog.
Gibson, Eric's,
Could be
Butler,
wrong.
more.
So many interesting creatures down
I
here.
find it
Another
ironic
turtle.
that they
This one just
switched his
says,
accent
"Hola."
considering his
Hola.
run-in with Lumiere, the French chef.
Hola,
It's
¿cómo
not
está,
secret that the
mi
British
amor?
and
Anna?
French have been added in the past, and if Sebastian kept his
Wait,
British
is this
roots,
game about
that the
us?
film might have
There's
turned
no
out more political than planned.
What
That's
of you?
just part of the article. Eric, Prince Eric is unlike other Disney
That
princes.
moment when you hear there's a Google
with his adorable
game
dimple,
of
the trait that
axolotls.
only one other
My
Disney
daughter would be
character shares.
obsessed.
It's the wonder how he won over Ariel's heart. It definitely wasn't his singing voice because, contrary to other princes,
she would love that.
Eric doesn't sing until the second movie.
Are you wrestling to find all the
movie, The Little
axolotls?
Mermaid 2, Return to the Sea,
They're still
reveals
I
that
want to
he
pet
is the
axolotl.
only prince
I don't think that's a good idea.
to become a father. And to top it all
Another
off, he is
I don't know,
one
beautiful scenery.
of
What
a
is this, like a war?
prince to have killed the villain in the end of the film. There are so many fun facts about the Little Mermaid that my mind is just swimming all over the place
no
and
idea
details
what that, is,
that
but
went
that's part of
into
an axolotl.
making this film. It's clever, not like other Disney princesses
their way
stories.
to
See, I found articles and I should have been paying more attention. You could spot Disney's main
Okay, I
in
get
the
it.
opening sequence at the start of the film. When King Triton glides over a crowd of people, you can briefly see a couple of surprising faces. Mickey Mouse, Goofy, Donald Duck,
Axolotl,
and even Kermit the Frog are lurking in the crowd. This scene introduces Ariel in
Tree
her
of Life, Mermaid
absence, as
Axolotl.
Sebastian's hosting as
funny.
Ariel's music debut,
May I have this?
to which she never turns up. There are plenty of other Disney Easter eggs in the movie that may catch your eye.
Dance in
The
Spanish?
maid, Charlotte, wears a dress that is identical to Cinderella's ragged
Tree
outfit.
of Life.
You can also spot a doodle of Mickey Mouse within Ursula's
Axolotls can survive out of water, but only for about an hour.
Contract with Ariel. Ariel was deliberately
Axolotls
made
can
redhead.
change the color of their skin to blend into their
There
environment.
was a concern
I have a
that
book
Ariel
that I'm
might
working
draw
on called
comparison with another
Mustache
cinematic mermaid. If Ariel was
Dancing
given her
Salamanders and
intended
Axolotls,
blonde mop, she could look a lot like
this one says Hola.
Daria
this one
Hans,
says,
Madison, and Splash.
Just
1984
just me and all of my
Fantasy
close
Adventure
friends.
was nominated for an Academy
You found
Award.
all 5
But the
types
Little
of
Mermaid
axolotls.
creators wanted
So
to
there's
make sure
5
their
types.
movie was original.
And
As a result, the
them
animators
so
gave
cute.
Ariel red hair to be better distinguished as a character. It also helped to contrast Ariel against the blue hues of her home, as well as imply her fiery and adventurous personality. Other ginger Disney princesses who may have carried on Ariel's legacy include Merida from Brave, Drizella, Enchanted, and Anna from Frozen. Oh, Giselle. Gisella. Okay. Jeffrey Katzenberg wanted to cut part of Your World. It's hard to imagine a Little Mermaid without the classic song Part of Your World, though which Ariel first expressed her yearning to experience the human life. However, then Disney chairman Jeffrey didn't want the song to be part of his film. Jeffrey reportedly claimed that the song was boring and that children at a test screen were unimpressed by it. He was originally concerned that the song would remain in the film after it was played to adults, some of whom were moved to tears. It is the film I Want a Number, a staple of Disney movie establishment by Someday My Prince Will Come in the original Disney feature film Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It was originally meant to come out in the 40s and be much darker. Ariel was modeled on Alyss Milano. Alyson Milano? Without her knowledge. When drawing inspiration from the lead character, Disney animators didn't look far. They based Ariel quite heavily on Alyssa Milano. She's from Charmed. And if you don't know Charmed, she is from Who's Your Boss? who had risen to fame in sitcoms Who's Your Boss and blockbusters like 1984's Commando. Milano, in fact, had no idea that Disney had taken such inspiration from her image. It wasn't until she was invited to host the making of The Little Mermaid, a 1989 documentary, that she discovered the link. Later, speaking to Wendy Williams, Morano described how during the documentary research, it came out that the drawing and likeness of The Little Mermaid were based on pictures of me from when I was younger. Among Milano's diverse careers, she's still proud that her TV appearance made their mark in the Disney universe. It kicked off the Disney's renaissance when The Little Mermaid opened. Disney hadn't had the best decade from the mid-70s onwards. Most of the studio's animation efforts provided disappointment both in terms of commercial performance and critical response. After The Great Mouse Detective and Oliver and Company, Disney's animators were determined to restore their glory days of princess movies. It was on the back of The Little Mermaid that the so-called Disney Renaissance was built. It earned 2 Oscars for Best Original Song. 2 Oscars for Best Original Score and Best Original Song for Under the Sea, making it Disney's first Academy Award winning since Beck Knobs and Broomsticks all the way back in 1971. It nearly started Jim Carrey for the role of Prince Eric. The filmmakers almost casted Jim Carrey. Though a little-known actor at the time, Carrey had been working in Hollywood since the early 80s, with roles in such films as Peggy Sue Got Married. However, Carrey missed out on the voice role, which instead went to Christopher Daniel Barnes, who you might be surprised to learn was only 16-year-old at the time. Barnes would later voice Prince Charming in Disney direct-to-video Cinderella sequels, as well as playing the title character in the 1994 animated TV series of Spider-Man. Carrey, meanwhile, would later become arguably the biggest comedy star of the 90s, off the back of Ace Adventures, Pet Detective, Dumb and Dumber, and The Mask. Patrick Stewart turned it down because of a Star Trek. The role of King Triton was supposed to have gone to Patrick Stewart. However, scheduling conflicts with Star Trek: The Next Generation meant the talented actor had to turn down the role. Triton would instead be played by Kenneth Mars, who incidentally starred as the Nazi playwright Frank Libeskind in Mel Brooks's The Producer. This is, in fact, just one among quite an astonishing number of famous Disney roles that the esteemed British Shakespearean actor has declined. Stewart also turned down Clocksworth in Beauty and the Beast, Zeus in Hercules, Governor Ratcliffe in Pocahontas, and Zia in The Lion King. Zeus. Z-U. And yet he said yes to the role of Poop in 2017's The Emoji Movie. The movie Million Bubbles were the movie's Million Bubbles were painted by hand, aimed a Christ where would the Little Mermaid be without its plums of bubbles, bringing extra magic to every movement. Most of the Little Mermaid relied on EXEROX for animation and electric process that transformed pencil markings into cells. In fact, this movie was Disney's last cinematic extern recreation. However, the bubbles of The Little Mermaid are a different story. Unbelievable, every single bubble in the film was printed by hand because Disney producers wanted each one to be unique. One special effects supervisor Aesthetic, Estimated. There were around 1 million bubbles added in this way. There were hand painted by a firm based in Beiging, aimed the Tarman Square process and manufactured in 1989. Ariel keeps posing in in imitation of a famous statue. Ariel's best known pose, shown throughout the movie, sees her resting on the rock out to sea with a wistful expression. She looks towards the land with her tail draped on one side. This pose is inspired by a famous statue in Copenhagen, home of the original Little Mermaid author Hans Christian Andersen. Unrevealed in 1930, this statue rests on rocks in the harbor and shows a mermaid who is turning into a human. Just over 4 feet tall and weighs nearly 400 pounds, it was made from bronze by Edwin Erickson. It is something of a landmark of the city, attracting tourists and mermaid fans around the world. Prince Philip and Princess Aurora seemed to make a brief appearance. The Little Mermaid kicked off a Disney renaissance, bringing royal romance back into the brand's animated movies. But this film also seems to pay homage to Ariel's predecessors. Princess Aurora is the protagonist of Sleeping Beauty, Disney's 1959 offering, which was nominated for an Academy Award. She finds her happily ever after with Prince Philip, who happens to be the first prince in the Disney princess franchise. Fans of Little Mermaid have noticed that as Ariel and Eric sit down to dinner in the palace, a huge portrait seemingly of Aurora and Philip abords the room. The couple certainly looks like the royals to us, and as a result, fans have speculated that Eric and Philip or Aurora could be related to each other. It was the final movie of British star Ben Wright, the voice of Gibson. Prince Eric's devoted steward was provided by British actor and radio star Ben Wright. Wright, a veteran of World War II, was an expert in accents and provided a wide range of voices on U.S. radio, including Sherlock Holmes and Sinbad the Sailor. He was also renowned for playing the Hiller Zayler in The Sound of Music in 1965. Wright had previously voiced 2 other Disney characters, Roger and 101 Dalmatians. Okay, I see you, dude. And Rama in the Jungle Book. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I would have even picked that up. Despite this, he was reportedly not recognized as a Disney actor by the Little Mermaid creators, who only made the connection after he was hired. Wright passed away after heart surgery in 1989, 4 months before The Little Mermaid was released. And strange-looking tutor triggered a lawsuit against Disney. Little Mermaid is a beloved film for all the family as far as Disney is concerned. But over the decades, some viewers have questioned moments in this animation. In particular, one of the tourists of Atlantica appeared to have a rather inappropriate shape. This image appears on the cover of early home videos release of movies. Rather than dismissing this as a coincidence, one woman from Arkansas named Jeanette Gilman filed a lawsuit against Disney. She claimed that The Little Mermaid, The Lion King, and The Fox and the Hound all contain an inappropriate message. However, she dropped the lawsuit only 2 months later. Since then, Disney has quickly removed the questionable from the home release package. B. Arthur of Golden Girl fans was the first choice to voice Ursula. Disney's animated create Ursula with B. Arthur, famed for her Golden Girls in mind. Author was even named within the script itself to describe the ideal Ursula voice. However, when they approached the author's agent with the role, it was apparently taken as an insult. Director John Musk later recalled her agent, I guess, read the script and it was described the witch as having a B author type bass voice. The agent just read it somehow in mind, like we were saying, the author is a witch. She explained, I don't think she even gave it to her. The role eventually went to Pat Carwell, who would also voice Morgana, Ursula's wicked sister in the sequel. Okay, I was wondering who played Morgana. Part of Ariel's animation was based on a female astronaut. Artist Glenn Keane took inspiration from many sources of Ariel's design, including TV star Alyssa Milano and his own wife. But one of his more unusual surfaces for the Little Mermaid was Sally Ride, the American astronaut. Footage of her hair in space helped Keane to design Ariel's deep sea locks and their movement. According to Disney Imagineer Lisa, the great look for The Little Mermaid was actually images or videos of Sally Ride in space in zero gravity. Sally Ride was the first ever American woman to go to space and the third female astronaut of any nation to go there. To this day, she also remains the youngest ever U.S. astronaut, having reached space at the age of 32. In addition, Reed was also the first gay person to go to space. Good for you, girl. Good for you.